Hello, and welcome to the first edition of the George Scaife LFC channel. I actually hope this is working. I really hope it is. It's the first ever live on the channel, so stay with me. If it is a bit ropey, I appreciate someone in the comments just let me know you can hear me okay and the sound's all fine. I trust, the comments are flying in there. Three. There's three comments, which is great, which is more than none. What I've got in front of me now is the tactics board. Today, this whole stream is going to be a deep dive into the AC Milan game tomorrow. I believe it's 12:30. There's so much to kind of go through. We've kind of got two starting lineups, right? So against Preston and Stoke, we rotated at half time, and I think it'll be a similar thing here. And I'm really interested to know what you've got to think. I mean, I can bring comments up. Look at this, Leon. What's good? Nice, yeah, loads actually because it's working. I'm glad. Loads that's good. George, nice one, mate. Santa, I'm not sure about these names, guys. Hello, I can bring you all. And if I do this, bang. So look, basically now, you can see me on the board. The adverts on the bottom corner, I don't know how to get rid of them. I'm not paying for a premium subscription on that. I'm paying £35 a month for this, so that'll have to do it. But let's just get into it, right? For me, Liverpool are going to start this game stronger than end it, in my opinion. And it'll be a starting back, certainly back three with Alisson included. I think Alisson will start in goal. Firstly, he's a better goalkeeper, but secondly, it's his debut in the pre-season. Not his debut overall. He has played for Liverpool before, but he will start this game, in my opinion, having not started the previous two. And he'll play for me behind Van Dijk and Konate. We'll come on to these two in a second, Stevenson and Gomez as well. Thank you, Henrik, favourite content creator. Thank you so much. Thank you. What I'll do is I'll bring up comments to replace where that banner is at the bottom, so you'll always have a comment there. This one's from Ethan. Is Isak necessary for us? Surely we'd rather save the money for other positions. I entirely agree with that. I entirely agree. Certainly centre-back for me and maybe midfielder, yeah. Left wing, if Diaz goes, then you'd think we'd just go like for like, right? But I hate what you're saying entirely. If we hadn't signed Ekitike, I'd have been disagreeing with that, but the reality is we have. Do you think Stefan Bajcetic could get sold? I don't think it'll be a sell. I think it'll be more so a loan, in my opinion. If you are here now, the 26th year, make sure you go down there and smash the like. If you like this thing, then you know what I mean. It pushes out to more people. We do more of these streams, and this is the place to be this year, instead of all that other drivel that's out there in terms of Liverpool content. So I appreciate it all. Simon, would you rather Isak or a centre-back and a winger? Centre-half and a winger, in my opinion. As good as Isak is, as Ethan just said, is he really necessary? In terms of a squad, we've got a very nice squad now. Like, do we need a star player like that when we've got Wirtz, we've got Salah, and he's gonna probably be our third best player, and he'll be signed for 160 million. Is that right? That don't seem right, to be honest. It seems quite imbalanced. Josh, now then, mate, how are you? Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. Thank you. Do you remember me? I was your mod a year. Oh yeah, you are a mod now. You're still a mod, so go and mod, whatever you want. I believe membership is set up now, and I also believe super chats are set up now. Wink. No, I'm joking, but I do think they pop up. It's quite cool. I got one on my music account actually. It was quite fun. Anyway, back to Liverpool because we got sidetracked there. I will get better at this whole lag, by the way. I promise. Right, centre halves. I think we'll start strong, and I think we've got the option there to rotate. Let's do my starting 11, and then we'll work on my second half 11 in a minute. If you're on the TikTok, get into the YouTube, by the way, we've got the tactics board on. I think Kerkez will start this game. I actually think he's going to start every game for Liverpool. A lot of people, I think McManaman said that he's going to rotate with Robertson. It's like, what are you talking about? You don't sign one of the best left-backs in the league for 40 million quid and don't play him. Kerkez will start or at least play 45 minutes in this game against AC Milan. I'd love to know what you think in the comments. Smash the likes, says Josh. I agree with that. And then, yeah, he'll probably not play the second half. And in terms of this right-back play in the first or second half, I think you could literally just, I don't know, pick name out of a hat really here. I'm going to put Bradley in for the first half for no reason at all, really. I think they'll both play it and both play a half each. I don't think it'll be a case of Szoboszlai playing as a right-back again, although that was a crazy time. What a crazy time we're living in. Let's go to midfield now. This is where it gets very interesting. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you go and smash the subscribe button. We've got videos coming out, by the way, daily, which is pretty crazy for me. So like it while it's still here. I think Nyoni starts. Guys, thoughts? Put your thoughts in the comments now on Trey Nyoni. Get some thoughts going down. We'll bring some comments up on the screen because this is really one of the hot young talents in our team now, Nyoni and Ngumoha. And we're kind of getting that new wave through because I feel like now we've not got many young players like the days of Trent and Jones and them not being young. I guess Bradley's still young, which is crazy to say because he's so mature, right? And he's one of our better players. Just subscribe, says Fion. Love the TikToks. Nice one. I appreciate that. Yaquin, what a great name. Yakin. Is that like Joaquin Phoenix? Is that like that? Great name. I'm fine. I'm just enjoying my first stream, to be honest with you. I'm going to put Bradley in for the start. This guy says, Santa Killer, what's your deal with hating Christmas, mate? Do you know what I mean? I think Trey Nyoni deserves to stay in the first team and be a rotation player. I'd probably agree with that. Yeah, probably agree with that. Yeah, but then again, you look at this and look at the depth in here. I've not got McAllister playing a minute against AC Milan. In my opinion, I've got McAllister actually sitting on the bench. We'll come on to McAllister shortly. Wow, we've had our first ever gift. I don't know what to say. Ethan, with the $2.99. Is that American? Or is it Monopoly money? I don't either or. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Ethan. That's very kind of you. You don't have to do that at all. Would love to collab. Yeah. The thing is with this channel, right? This is not me just. I don't want it to be me just sat there and you just sat watching. I want people to get interacted with the channel, whether it be in the comments or whether it be people getting on live streams. My end goal is to have like a weekly call-in thing where people can get on here and, you know what I mean, give their thoughts, because Aussie dollars. Cheers, Mark. Thanks for the gift, Mark. Ethan, nice one. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. You'd have to do that. Very generous. Corey, Nyoni and Ngumoha are so exciting. If they play for United, yeah. Thing is, mate, I'm trying to keep this under wraps, to be honest with you, because these are our lads. You know what I mean? And I don't want anyone else to have them. I don't think actually. Why would Nyoni leave? Like, he just signed a long-term contract. Ngumoha's just signed. I believe, has he signed a long-term contract as well? Ngumoha, but he's definitely, obviously, just signed, right? Joaquin, what a great name, Joaquin. Love that. That might be the best name of all time. Gaffur. How do I say his surname? That's even better. This guy's got the best name of all time. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's crazy to say Bradley's better than Frimpong, and I'm happy Trent left, as it allows us to have more tactical. Yeah, I agree. It's correct. I can't believe. Whoa, we've had another gift. Oh my word! This one's from Noah. This is, guys. I'm getting sweaty. Thank you so much, Noah. Very generous of you with a 249. Sorry, with Hugo coming in, Ibu renewing. Mate, I hope so. It's like what we're bringing in his pal, so hoping he'll stay. I like it. I like the thought process, and thank you. That's very generous. You don't have to do that at all. Ngumoha is set to sign a new contract. Yeah, I think he will be, and obviously he's just signed as well. George, I'm interested to know what your thoughts on Szoboszlai are. Do you think we've had another gift? Guys, can you play? This is ever so kind. You do not have to do this at all. Luke's is up the Chelsea. You know what I mean? I appreciate a man who's willing to put his side aside for the love of the gift. And I really appreciate that. When we play Chelsea, I hope we batter you still, but I appreciate the gift from Luke. Thank you so much. Again, guys, you're too generous. You do not have to gift at all. I really appreciate you so much. Thank you, Luke. Thank you so much, mate. Back to Szoboszlai. What do you think will happen now Wirtz is in? We'll talk about Szoboszlai in a second. I feel like we're getting sidetracked from the actual starting 11 because people have been so generous and gifting. Let's just get back to the starting 11 a sec. And Nyoni. I've got Nyoni starting in here. And I think I've got him starting with Gravenberch. I think they'll start together. Did they start together in the Preston game? I think they did, didn't they? Someone will correct me, I'm sure, if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah. Morton, I don't think will feature really in this game. Endo, I've got for the second half, so we'll come on to Endo. Jones, I've got for the second half, we'll come on to Jones. And Elliott, I've also got for the second half. So I see these two players actually quite similar in terms of profiles. They're both quite tall, they're quite lanky to say. It's quite lanky sounds really harsh, doesn't it? But they are very big in stature, right? But they're not particularly physical, like they're not very strong. They're quite thin. Again, thin sounds like I'm slagging them off. It's not that at all, because okay, but I'll wrote it this way. They're both quite similar in how they move. Let's say that, because they both want to receive the ball. And watch this. Ready for this? I'm going to do a shortcut. Oh, it's not worked. Where? I can make myself bigger on screen. How good's that? Look at that. I can move myself around. They want to receive the ball in the same way, as in like Nyoni wants to receive the ball from his defender, and then drop, and then what have I had there? I've mentioned on Twitter. Scape's still going live to this graphic. What have I done? Why someone said that on Twitter then? Scape's going live to this graphic. What have I done? Let me just check that. Hold on. Am I being digged out here on Twitter? Probably am. Oh my god! I'm just unbelievable. It's an awful graphic, and we've had another. Oh, wow, Simon Williams. Sorry, I'm gonna get better at this live stream. I promise I will get better. I promise. It's the first one ever. Simon, very generous. £2, £1.99. What numbers would you want for the new lads? Interesting. That's a really great talking point, actually. Thank you so much for your donation. I think If Diaz leaves, Wirtz takes 7. I think that might be what we're holding out, actually. I think Ekitike, what's even left? We can't have 9, 10. If Núñez leaves, Ekitike gets 9. If Isak joins, he gets 9. Kerkez, 3's Endo, isn't it? What makes sense for Kerkez? Thing is, I don't know what their previous numbers were, so it's quite like they tend to carry it on, or if it's like a weird number, they'll take the final digit of that number. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure. I just think Wirtz might take 7, and I think Ekitike will take 9 if no one else comes in and if Núñez and Diaz leave. What are your thoughts on that? I think that's pretty reasonable. Back to these two, very similar in how they want to receive the ball, and I really like them playing together because they're quite similar. But I think Nyoni wants to receive the ball deeper and maybe play more direct than Gravenberch. I don't think Gravenberch likes that pass sideways. He also likes running. Nyoni doesn't so much like the run through. He likes the pass through. We saw it against Preston. It was against Stoke, certainly from the small highlights we saw. That pass to the right hand side. One of our goals came from that. So Nyoni is looking like the passer, and Gravenberch is looking like almost the mover, right? Trying to go through. We had another donation. Wow, Henrik, 11 knock. I believe that's Norwegian. Am I wrong? Thank you so much. Wow, this is going. Yeah, I'm really flattered, to be honest. Thank you so much, Henrik. No note on that one, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Wow, the midfield too. Yeah, very complimentary, I think. And we'll talk about the second half team in a minute. I think Wirtz starts. I think Szoboszlai comes onto the pitch in the second half. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe if you're new. I don't think Diaz features, certainly off the left. Maybe he does in the second half, but I've got actually Cody Gakpo starting in this game and Ngumoha dropping to the bench. On the right-hand side, I think it's we've had another Noah again. Noah, wow. Have a nice one, mate. Good luck. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Noah, very generous of you tonight. Thank you so much. I'll be sure to get a coffee tomorrow. With that, absolutely. Thank you so much, mate. Salah starts. Salah is Salah. He just starts the game, right? We start quite strong. Chiesa isn't even in the bloody squad. What's he doing there? And I think Núñez starts the game. I think it'll be weird to put Ekitike in. Certainly throwing him into the starting team. Is Ben Doak in the squad? Ben Doak in the squad? I don't even know. But that's how I think we'll start. In a 4-2-3-1, I'm going to move them all up to, let's just assume we're attacking, as I hope we do against AC Milan. I saw something about AC Milan wanting to play Leao as a striker, which is very interesting. And it actually probably changes the way I think about how we'll start this game, because I think, obviously, if Leao's starting as a striker, if he's playing as a striker, he'll likely start. Therefore, I think we should start our best defenders. And the reason I've started Van Dijk and Konate in the same team, in my opinion, as opposed to maybe starting Van Dijk and Gomez or Stevenson and Konate, perhaps weaker, but there's not that big of a drop-off. I think you just start your starting two, right? It makes sense because you've got a new fullback coming in here. Maybe even, someone said make your cam smaller again. Yeah, I'm talking about players who aren't even on the screen. Nice one, George. This is absolute amateur hour. Wait there. That one. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, you've got a new left back here, perhaps even a new right back who might start. So it makes sense to play your starting back two for next season along with Alisson, just to get, of course, they've played with each other a lot of games, but it's pre-season. You want to start, hopefully, kind of moving towards your starting team, and having Gomez in there with one of them doesn't seem right. So in the second half, got me moving to the second half team now, who I'm going to actually put underneath here. So I think it's really tough. I think Gomez starts certainly in the second half. And I've actually not got Stevenson playing. Now, I've not seen much of Stevenson. And on the website, he's listed as a midfielder, which I think is weird. I saw against Preston, he was making some late runs into the box, which really impressed me. Quite powerful, isn't he? He's quite small as well for a centre-back. So he's not a centre-back, as far as I'm considered, although he played there against Preston, sorry. But I think Tsimikas will start left-back, and I think Robertson will start centre-back. This seems to be the move we're going for this year. Robertson starting in a left-back who's kind of wanting to invert or wanting to defend, which makes sense. It's a natural progression for a full-back who's going to slow down, for a full-back who will be concentrating on his defensive side of his game, as opposed to being that threat he used to be in 2019, etc. Leave a like on the video if you're enjoying, guys. Thank you so much. If Chiesa leaves, Ekitike should have Núñez number 9, and Isak take Chiesa's 14. That's a very good point. Yeah. Again, that's entirely viable, I think. Do you think Ekitike... Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Do you think Ekitike can play as the left winger if we get Isak and Kerkez holds the width? I think so, yeah, but with our setting up, I see Kerkez being a bit more deeper than certainly Frimpong on the other side. I will talk about that in a second, how it all balances out. I just want to talk about personnel-wise where I am with this. Robertson will start as a centre-back in this game for me. It'll either be Robertson or Stevenson. So take it with a pinch of salt. It'll be one or the other, and then Gomez switches over. But for now, I've got this, and I would like to see this because I want Tsimikas to get some game time because I don't actually know where he's at. If Tsimikas does get game time, it'll probably be interesting as it kind of it puts into conversation where he is, but where his future lies, right? The same with Luis Diaz. Is his future significant next year? Has he got a certain future? I don't think he has really. If he starts this game, I think it might indicate he does. Then onto the right back, and it's Frimpong. Frimpong comes in as an alternative to Bradley, offering a bit more of an outlet here. And I think with the guy I'm going to bring in as a right winger, which we'll actually bring in now, is Harvey Elliott. I know this is quite confusing because I've got 22 players on the pitch, but just the guy on the right starting, the guy on the left coming on. Having Frimpong and Elliott in the same team, obviously Elliott's going to naturally come more central. He likes to operate in these areas. And Frimpong's going to go wide, right? And that works quite well, actually, with rotation as well. Elliott likes to play nearer to the side of the pitch. Someone said, how would our back three line up if would we do Gravenberch as a holding DM because Bradley and Frimpong aren't defensive? Yeah, it'll either be Gravenberch drops in to make a back three. Actually, we'll talk about it. Hold on 1 second. Just want to get my team on here. In the second half, I think Endo comes in. I think Jones comes in, probably switching sides. I think Soboslai comes in for Wirtz. I think Ngumoha comes in for Gakpo. And I think the striker, it'd be very brave for Liverpool to play Ekitike now, having just met the team and literally just landed the other day, right? I think it'll be Luis Diaz. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's weird, this striker position. One, Ekitike is just signed. Diaz looks almost out. Kerkez not even in the squad. So who do you really play there? I think it'll be Diaz. Let's go back. So let me know your thoughts on this secondary team. Would you change anything here? I am going to go back to that first team and let's talk about tactically how this is going to work. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you're not subscribing already, be there because I'll tell you something. The videos are flying out. Just give me 4 seconds. Bang. This is the first team I want to start with. And I think tactically, I'm going to assume, let me just get a drink here. I'm going to assume nothing changes from the Stoke and Preston game in terms of how we build up. If you're in the TikTok, get into the YouTube. You'll love this because I got the tactics board out and there's a lot to go through. Against certainly Preston, it was kind of like this. You're building up as a 3. It was a 3. Bradley was playing far up the pitch. Gravenberch and Nyoni were kind of that pivot together. And then I believe that's like a connecting kind of pivot, as they call it. Why's Dope there? Wirtz playing in this kind of left half space. Gakpo given the width, in fact. Salah being a bit more tucked in. And Bradley there. And then this was Nunes. And then Nunes was so good, actually, I thought, against Stoke. Preston, in kind of getting in them areas, which I think has been one of his big weaknesses last year. I think he's run so many offsides, it's almost become quite boring with Nunes. But now, I'm going to make myself a bit bigger here just so I can... Hold on. There, a bit bigger, because I'm only focused on this side of the pitch, right? But yeah, I thought actually against Preston he was great, and I thought against Stoke some of the highlights were really promising. So Nunes keeps his role, getting into them kind of areas, running the channels very late on, holding his runs, and I think having Wirtz in your team and Salah behind means he can do that. Means they're going to, well, firstly, the defenders are going to be occupied, right? So there's going to be less men on Nunes. So Nunes might actually, if he stays, have a better season because of the better players around him, occupying defenders. But I think with Bradley being so wide and Salah being so wide, and also these two players swapping, we saw that against Preston. They're not scared to do this, especially with Bradley. Them inverted runs. He likes to tuck in and go into this space here. We saw a few times they linked up last year. We also saw, if you watch the Stoke game, the highlights. One of the goals came from this. This was Curtis Jones, and he played a 1-2 with Salah, and he inverted, and then he found this space here. I don't know if you saw that. It was really interesting. So I think this right-hand side, these two will be rotating. I think these two will be rotating, and that leaves Nunes with a lot of room in the middle here to make them runs. So yeah, Kerkez is kind of playing as this, hate it, but like left centre-back role, but he's not a centre-back. It's not black and white, centre-back or left-back. He's a left-back just holding the space. He doesn't really need to do it either, because actually what we saw against Preston a lot of times was this. We almost saw this kind of 2-2-6 thing almost, like this kind of box. Not really box midfield. It was kind of that. It was kind of that, really, wasn't it? And Kerkez was joining on to make that front six right at the end, getting on a couple crosses that came in, the weak crosses, to be honest with you. And I think actually next year that is how we'll end up. That'll be the second phase of our attack. It'll be a 2-2-6. But obviously, we're going to start in this 3-2-5, which gives us one more man back, which prevents transition from the opposition, which prevents counter-attacks, certainly across to this side. I think actually counter-attacks, say there's the ball there, say Gakpo lost the ball back. There's 75 people in here. Thank you so much. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. Daily Liverpool content and videos. It's unbelievable. I mean, the gifts have been just so generous. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you all. Thank you. If we do lose the ball here, say Gakpo loses the ball, and then this Diag's come in there, bang. What's your problem? What happens there in your opinion? Wait, one sec. Do you think Robbo will extend his contract? I do, personally. I think he'll become vice-captain as well. Do you think we're signing too many players? I actually do, yeah, but I think we've been forced into playing that hand. We signed no one last year. We're forced to almost do 2 transfer windows in one. Does it shake up a title-winning side? Yeah, but that's probably arguably a good thing. I love Kerkez' physicality and commitment. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And that's what makes him a brilliant player who can tuck in there. For me, you know what I mean? Certainly more so than Bradley, certainly more so than Frimpong. We can low-key retain the Premier League and win the Champions League with this squad. Yeah, and it is a squad, isn't it? It is a squad. It's not starting 11. I mean, our backup team looks very, very strong. I think Slot will use Kerkez and Frimpong as wing-backs, and Gravenberch will drop into defence. It's an interesting one, that, because I get it. I entirely get why that works, and it does work, because Kerkez will be kind of up here, Gakpo in this space. Nyoni would be kind of milling about. That's why I don't think it'd work, because I'd want 2 in there. I'd want that to be McAllister and Szoboszlai, but it can't be, because you've now got Wirtz in the side. You've now got Ekitike. You can't fit everyone in. And by the way, if you just tuned in, this is the team I'd play against AC Milan with. This is the starting 11. So I would counter it, and I'd follow what Liverpool are doing right now and what Slot's trying to do, and it's this kind of the fullback tucks in. Let's go back to that. Losing the ball over here. The counter-attacks coming in. Someone said, love the channel for Dart Days. Nice one, mate. Thank you. Anyone here from Dart Days? Anyone? I've got a darts channel if anyone's asked. This counter-attack, I think, one, Konate, if we keep him, is very good at these areas. One, he's quick. He's a quick centre-back, but he's also strong. If someone beats him, he'll probably recover and also send the guy to the ground, which is great. Like don't do that again, do you know what I mean? But Konate is great. When you thought that was good, you've then got the new signing, Frimpong. Get him back. He's probably the fastest player I've ever seen. Have you seen how fast this guy's? Against Stoke, I know it was like some extended highlights, but my word, his acceleration is literally some of the best. Like, he just churns up grass. At one stage in that Preston game, he lost the ball, and I was like, okay, well, that's pretty crap. He'd won it back instantly, like within a second. Before I'd even said that's rubbish, he'd won it back straight away. He's so fast, and in terms of recovery pace, having that as an asset in your team, which Trent never had, by the way, as good as Trent was at distributing on the ball, he was never able to defensively cope with fast wingers, because they'd just go past him. And one, they would get past him because he couldn't tackle, and two, he wouldn't be able to recover because he wasn't fast enough, right? Will we have 300 million as a... No. Surely we don't have 300 million. Who said that? I mean, in my opinion, that's just, we've already spent 300 million. Thoughts on Rio? Do you think he'll get minutes? Yeah, we'll talk about Rio Ngumoha now, in fact. Let's do it now. Let's put him in this team. So yeah, I said about this kind of 2-2-6. I think it'll be that as the second stage of progression. Where's Ngumoha, number 73? There he is. So in the second half, I think Ngumoha will come on for Gakpo. I think, let's just say, for argument's sake, and I don't know if this is going to happen, but Ekitike plays the second half. He might even play half an hour of the second half. I don't know how this is going to work. Maybe not. 25 minutes. I love your tactics, but thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Salah, Wirtz and Ekitike link-up play next season is going to be class. Absolutely. There's so many goals there. I think Rio will spend 90% of his time in the under-21s. Yeah, I agree. I think similar to last year, I think it's important we don't push this guy too much. We're seeing so many injuries creep into not just Liverpool players' games, but a lot of young players. You look at players like Waneri, who are just so good, and they're going to get played so many times at Arsenal, but is that a good thing? Like, he's a young lad. You look at what happened to Gavi, playing so many games at Barcelona and Spain, and then he just has that unfortunate injury. And I look at players like Pedri, Pedri plays like every game. He's played every game for the last few years. Touch wood, it doesn't happen, but you feel the worst for these young players who are just getting played relentlessly. So Ngumoha, I like how he's not first choice, right? Obviously, he's probably not even second choice, but having that ability to just bring him into cup games like the Accrington game last year, I think it's great. Honestly, Champions League, right? We had a game last year in Champions League. It was PSV, wasn't it? Didn't have to win it. Them kind of games, bringing him in there in like a free hit game that don't mean anything, getting that experience under the lights, I think it's great. Having Gakpo in front of you as well to kind of nurture you into the team and having someone to look up to and also compete against because Ngumoha is good enough to compete. Why are we forgetting Cody? We're not. If he was in my team for the first half of the game, mate. He was in the team for the first half. Fabrizio once again. Isak once. Yeah, it's just boring. I wish Fabrizio would just tell us when something doesn't happen. Because as far as I know, it's business as usual. Nothing's changed, right? This one's from Amgis. I don't really think, we should sign Isak. He will cost 150 million, and we've already Ekitike. We should strengthen defence and buy a left winger. I agree. If Diaz leaves, I think if Diaz leaves, it's like for like. You just use that money to buy a winger replacement. Maybe chuck a few more on there just to bump it up, right? But certainly a centre back. Zach says here, do you think we'll sign a centre back? It's a non-negotiable. It's a priority now. It should be. Mark Gay's gone very quiet, which is a real problem for me. I want a centre back. It's a necessity. I want to do a video on it soon. Stay tuned for that because we cannot go into a league with Van Dijk, Konate, Gomez, Stevenson. Is that it? I mean, is that actually it? Endo can play there? It's like Konate's already injury prone. Gomez is injury prone. Stevenson, he's looked all right, but he's no Premier League centre back right now. Van Dijk's obviously Van Dijk, so that's good. But yeah, we need another one. So Ngumoha is going to come into the second half team for me. Bradley's going to come out for Frimpong, who's going to come in for the width. I think Salah's going to drop out. I think Elliott's going to play. And I really like this. I like how Frimpong is offering more width than Elliott's kind of cutting inside. Now, Elliott, it's really interesting when you look at Harvey Elliott because he's not... If we look at a 4-3-3... Hold on. 4-3, let's just say for argument's sake, forget the players, but 4-3-3... Elliott in that scenario there is probably his best position because he's too slow to be a winger there. He's certainly slower than Salah and the wingers have got to offer. He's too slow to be a winger. He's not going to be on the left because he's always played on the right. Obviously, he can't play centre forward. Although in pre-season last year, we kind of ran that kind of centre forward false nine thing. Then he got injured, right? So where does he actually play? He can't play there in a 4-2-3-1 because we've got Szoboszlai and Wirtz who are easily going to play there. Even Ekitike could drop behind. So where's his role in this team? Even if he does play off the right of a 4-3-3, that won't be that. It's not like a 2D image, right? If he plays off the right like where Szoboszlai played last year, he will be doing this. He'll be there. Even in cup games, right? Champions League game, let me just make myself smaller. Having Kurt, I'm coming back to that comment in a second. Elliott is not, for me, good enough. I know he's good enough. You see how good he was for the under-21s at England. We all know he's good enough. Availability is one thing. If he stays fit, that's obviously great. But I just think we have way better players in the areas he wants to operate in. Certainly right wing with Salah. Certainly behind the striker with Szoboszlai and Wirtz. It leaves me thinking where the hell's his future. And let me know in the comments your thoughts on Harvey Elliott's future. Do we go for Hato? I think he's gone to Chelsea, and Gahey's gone quiet, which is annoying me. I'd go for Gahey, yeah. Yeah, as Luke said, I think he's going to Chelsea. Which player in the squad would you most want a future manager? Robertson. I think Robertson would be good as a manager. Right, Elliott, where's his position? I think in the second half he comes in and plays as a right winger. And I think he plays there, again, works well with Frimpong. So actually in attack we'll have something like this. Gravenberch comes out of the team. I think McAllister... It'd be weird if McAllister don't get a game. I just don't think he will. I don't know. I can't even give you an answer why, really. Let me know your thoughts on McAllister specifically in comments now. I'll get some comments up on the screen. Szoboszlai comes in, where Jones comes in, and Endo, where's number 3? Number 3, Endo comes in for Nyoni. Interesting. I think Endo, yeah, we could actually do something like... Actually, I'll just change the whole bloody team. We'll be here all night. For the sake of argument, Stevenson will put in. For the sake of argument, Gomez will put in. And we'll also go with Robertson, although I've changed my team in the space of 10 minutes. That's fine. You could also do something like this, where Robertson attacks. And because Endo's pretty good defensively, and he also played as a centre-back for, a decent amount of games for what, Stuttgart? Was it Stuttgart? Yeah, played centre-half a few times. And also in Japan, by the way, played there loads, which I never knew. You can go on Transfer Market and see where players have played. He's played as a centre-back. He's pretty well-versed there. So he could definitely drop in. Yeah, he won't have the on-the-ball capabilities of a Gravenberch in that scenario, but he could definitely do a job, certainly in pre-season. And if he does that, you could then get something that looks a bit like this. a 3-2-5. Robertson is probably not. It's probably not ideal to have him in that scenario there, which is why I just think we'll lean away from it, and it'll be that kind of 3 we've seen there. It'll be that 3 with Szoboszlai joining on, and then this eventually, which I think we'll do this year, by the way. So stay tuned for this. Hold on, what we're doing here. Szoboszlai, that left bit. I don't see a reason we'd change it because it was like this against Preston and Stoke. Why would we change? In my opinion. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Smash the likes, as Josh said. I agree. Maka deserves a rest. I see no rush. Yeah, exactly. I don't think he'll get feature. That's the only reason I could really give you why I won't think he'll feature. Other than that, I think next game, certainly I don't see a reason why I won't play. So I think we'll have a 3-2-5. Endo hangs back. Either Jones attacks here, either Jones comes forward, which I think he could do, but I like him in that space, or Robertson does it, which I can't see because it's Robertson. If it was Kerkez, I'd be absolutely like, yeah, you know what I mean? That's a 2-2-6. But with this 2 as well, it's quite a weak 2. I know we're playing a better side than a Stoke or a Preston and AC Milan. You got players like Leao, and I know they've lost Reinders, etc., but they're still a top side, top European side, Champions League side. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Robertson, I think will have to feature. In terms of who actually could feature, who they're not got on here but could play, I'm looking at someone like Ben Doak. Ben Doak could be the guy who plays instead of Harvey Elliott. Is Doak in the squad? Can someone just let me know that? Is Doak actually in the squad? He might not even be. Excuse me. Because Chiesa isn't, is he? Is it just me who thought McAllister was our best? Yeah, he was our best midfielder, in my opinion. I also think the whole Maka rest slot. Yeah, I agree. Having depth in midfield is so important, especially at the top end of the league, right? And we've got 6 players realistically. How many midfielders have we got here? Excluding 10s. We'll chuck 10s into the midfield category. We've got Jones 1, Endo 2. Where are we? McAllister 3, Szoboszlai 4, Elliott 5, Wirtz. We've had Wirtz a midfielder. Wirtz 5.5. Gravenberch 6.5. Morton's in the squad 7.5. Nyoni 8.5. So you got 8. You got 8 midfielders there, and for a season, it's absolutely adequate, right? And then chuck in Wirtz as well to play as a number 10. And then people are telling me we need to sign a DM. I get it. I hear it. I think there's better DMs on the market than Gravenberch. I don't think there's many better midfielders, but as like an overall, like a flexible midfielder who could play number 6 or could play number 8, like Gravenberch can. And I actually think if we did sign a 6, Gravenberch in that 8 would be so effective. Wouldn't he? Because he's got all the ball playing capabilities. He's so good kind of in transition as well. He's so hard to get the ball off, like McAllister is. He's also very good off the ball in terms of, his work rate, but that ability to put out fires with his legs, like very Fabinho type we used to have at Liverpool, obviously. And then we go. I'd love to know what you kind of think. What your formation would be for this game? Would you stick to a 3-2-5 in essence, like we played against Brentford, like we played against Stoke? I think it would be daft to almost change that. Why would we change that now? Yeah, really interesting. McAllister was 100% our 3rd best player last season. Yeah, I agree with that. He was better than Gravenberch in my opinion. McAllister. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you so much. If you're on the TikTok, get into the YouTube. There's loads of people in here. We've got the tactics board up. It's a really good community going on. Doak is in the squad, right? Doak's in the squad. So could we see Doak play inside of Frimpong? I wouldn't want them both in the same team. I think they're both quite similar in the positions they like to play. They're both quite similar profiles as well. Both quite quick. Both like to take players on direct. I like the idea of Frimpong playing inside a winger. Do you like that idea? I'm not sure it'll happen because why would it? Like if we had a Gakpo on the other side off the right, it would. I don't mind this because I'm not saying Frimpong should start there. Absolutely not. But you could definitely have him there to switch around and rotate, and having that kind of fluid attack is so useful. Let's put that donation up there. Thank you so much. Having them players who are so fluid, like Wirtz can play behind the striker to the left. He could also play wide. I don't see a reason why he couldn't play wide. Wirtz can also play as a number 10 here. Ngumoha could definitely play wider. He could definitely play more narrow, tucked in, because he likes to get towards goal as fast as he can. He like Gakpo, he likes to get it out of his feet and shoot straight away, curl one in far post. He likes off the right foot. You've got players like Kerkez, who can play as a left back that can also tuck into play in the back of on the left of a back three. Sorry, he could also come into midfield like we did at Bournemouth so many times, packing out the midfield, joining Christian and Cook, and then kind of take on a role on the left with Semenyo, and they had a really good relationship there. A similar relationship with actually Wirtz and Grimaldo at Leverkusen, so that could be a really nice relationship there, Wirtz and Kerkez. Let's talk about relationships. I don't mean love. I mean like which players. Give me 2 players in the comments now, and I'll bring them up on screen, who you think this year could have a really nice bond, a really good relationship on the pitch. Not off the pitch. We're not talking about that. Just talk to me on the. I'm going to go with Wirtz and Kerkez. I think a lot of people will be surprised by 1, how good the 2 players are, but 2, how well they work together. Salah Frimpong. Yeah, I agree. It's a very similar story because they're both so good, just plainly. Salah could easily go there and Frimpong could easily go there. We saw it against Stoke with Curtis Jones in that scenario. Playing them 1-2s, dropping back whilst the other one goes. Interesting. Billy says Kerkez and Gakpo. Yeah, that's very interesting. I hear your point. I maybe disagree. I don't know. We saw a bit against Preston, didn't we? They both played in the same half. Maybe they didn't. I hear your point. I would rather Wirtz than Kerkez just because of that position he takes up. It's more central. It's more tucked in, leaving more room for Kerkez. I think the positions Gakpo likes to operate and is very good at operating in, Kerkez kind of fills that when he's in this 2-2-6, in that final stage of progression. I think Kerkez maybe stands on his toes a few times. But I hear it. Obviously, they're all going to be good with each other. Next is Ekitike and Wirtz from Fion. Interesting, yeah. Ekitike and Wirtz. I mean, I've got no reason to deny that at all. These are 2 top players, both coming from Germany as well. They'll play against each other, suss each other out. And yeah, I don't see why not. It would be interesting to see if Wirtz plays. Wirtz will play behind Ekitike. It'll be towards the left, but I think there's a world in which Ekitike could play behind Wirtz, and you'd be like, all right, that's actually normal. That's not a problem at all. So I think it might be, again, another interchanging scenario between them 2. Next, we've got... I'm just going to get a drink, sorry. Subscribe, guys. If you're not subscribed at this point, make sure you do. It would be a massive favour from you to me. Thank you so much. Leon says, Kerkez and Gakpo. Another Kerkez and Gakpo, interesting. I hear it, though. I do hear it. Stephen says, Kerkez and Szoboszlai. Yeah, that's a good one, because obviously they're both national compatriots, is a great word I'm going to use there. So yeah, that transition for Kerkez coming into the team and the I was going to say the league then, but he's played in the league. Coming into the team, having a player who can take him under his wing. I mean, simply put, like just a player who he knows and he recognises that. I assume they're good friends, right? I know they're both Hungarian, but they might be Hungarian and hate each other. You don't know. But with Szoboszlai also being the Hungarian captain, you've got someone there who, yeah, they're friends, but he also probably looks up to him, right? So that's great. I think that relationship will be noticeable. Maybe Szoboszlai might be on the right-hand side, so that actually might be quite far away is the only thing on the pitch, which is I guess, the only thing halting that relationship, but I get it. Eden, Carr, Wirtz and Ekitike. Yep, we've been for that one, I get it. Tommy, I reckon Bradley will start in the big games. I agree with that. I think he's more balanced. Same plays. What do you think is going to happen with Szoboszlai? I don't know. Probably not going to get executed or anything. Probably won't be that deep. Just be like, you just rotate in. I think he's a good depth option to have. I don't think he'll start. Unfortunately, it's like with a heavy heart, he's done nothing wrong. But what can you do? You can't fit him in the team. It's like if you put Wirtz in here, you can't exactly go like team. They're that front 4. You're joking. How's Szoboszlai not in that team when he's probably better? Right, Wirtz is probably a better player. Wirtz and Nunes if Nunes stays. Interesting. As I say, I think Nunes will just have more space because Wirtz will be occupying another centre half, so I get it. Ekitike and Salah, he worked well with Marmoush. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a really good point. Ekitike was kind of that guy, again, taking a defender away whilst Marmoush would be in front of goal, 1v1. That's a lot of the clips I saw. And with Salah, maybe... The only thing with this is Salah going to be there and your fullback's there in that 5? Or is he going to be wider and that be Szoboszlai? Where's my sub? I've just got a mixture of players going on here. Sorry, I'm focusing on the front half. Or is Salah going to be wider? If he's nearer, I see that relationship. If he's wider, it's probably less obvious. Gakpo cutting in as well would be nasty. Absolutely. Very similar to how Ngumoha wants to attack defenders as well. Interesting one, but I think Wirtz and Szoboszlai work very well together. Yeah, I hear that. I do hear that. They're both kind of pressing monsters, really. They've both got a great record in their individual leagues for balls won in the final third, turnovers out the pitch. I think Wirtz is actually number 1 per 90 in the Bundesliga. And we know how much of a workhorse Szoboszlai is and how much he leaves on the pitch. So I get it. Yeah, I think that could be very good. Also, in a bit of competition, like direct competition, similar position as well, both creators, both central, could push each other. Wirtz and Nunes could become the next Gerard Torres, mate. I hope so. If Isak happens, I think Isak and Wirtz and Salah would have a good relationship. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Isak with me would have a good relationship. Anyway, goalkeeper, is that good? Do you think if we sign Isak, Ekitike could play left wing? I don't want to see this. He's a striker. He's a central player. Why move him there? It makes no sense. I mean, if we play him, we just take all these sods out way there. Hold on. Let me put my starting 11 in for next season so we can work out what the hell's going on here. To be fair, most of them are already here. Hold on. Take this time to... What have I done? Oh my god. I just signed up for a... Sorry, excuse that advert. Bloody hell. Yeah, get onto the like ratio. 42 likes, guys. Go and smash the like button. The more likes we get, the more often we do these, and the community builds, and the faster it grows, right? And then let me just put Bradley in, and then we're fine. Nice. Yeah. So you said about what did you? I forgot what you said now. Where's my mate? Where's my mate striker? There he is. Szoboszlai. If Ekitike plays wide left, and he say Szoboszlai there's Isak, you could do something like this where Ekitike plays more central. Fabrizio tweet, Isak's coming. That's probably not real, mate. So stop trolling. McAllister. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought now. Kerkez offers width, and he can be attacking and explosive. So I guess Ekitike would play in that left half space. He wouldn't be a left winger as such, like a Diaz is who picks the ball up here. He would play in there. Wirtz would play in there. Salah would play quite narrow. Bradley or Frimpong could offer width. Kerkez could offer width here. McAllister would be there. Gravenberch, and then you are kind of left with that back three, which people are talking about, which would be more like that. So that is very, very fluid, isn't it, how that kind of works? Leave a like, guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you for the donations. I've had 6 donations tonight. I mean, how kind's that? One from Ethan, one from Noah, one from Luke, one from Simon, one from Henrik, one from Noah again. Noah, very generous. Thank you all, guys. You don't have to do that at all. That's really nice. Yeah, thank you. It's good I can bring them up as well, because obviously that's great, right? You can also leave a note. So unlike Henrik, who didn't leave a note. Henrik, leave a note. Yeah, I think that could be an option if Ekitike plays off the left. I just don't see it. I don't see why you'd sign a player who's a central player and play him off the left for the sake of playing him off the left. He'll be that multi-functioning striker, which I think he's actually said himself that he wants to be, which if we sign Isak that's actually a positive for like, oh, we might still sign Isak yet, because Ekitike is not an out-and-out striker. He's not like a number 9 who's going to pin defenders like Ekitike, like Isak is, and he's more likely to drift, more likely to take the space deeper on the pitch, right? In my opinion, that's where we'll be. Let me know your thoughts down below. We've had another... Wow, Tommy, thank you so much. £2.49. What an unbelievable gesture. Thank you. Very kind of you, Tommy. No note from that one, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you so much. Mega, this community is growing, mate. This community is growing. We've got daily videos. We've had one every day for the last couple of weeks, well, almost. I had a couple of days off when I was at Oasis. What could we kind of look at now? Because I don't want to get too far astray from the AC Milan preview, because I feel like we're going a bit off on a tangent here. Tommy, forgot the note, mate. Love the content. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Very generous. You didn't have to do that at all. I think if we get Isak, it's more likely that Isak will play inside left and Ekitike through them. Again, I know Isak can play there, but I'd just rather him up front. I don't like this all inside left trendy stuff. It's like, whoa, get a striker, you know what I mean? Let's try and fit them all in the team. Let's say, where's Nunes? Assume Nunes is Isak. So your non-negotiables who can't be dropped are Isak, Wirtz, Salah. And McAllister won't be dropped. Gravenberch could be dropped. See, Bradley could be dropped for Frimpong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've counted that. 8. There are 8 players in my team who are non-negotiables next season. I might do a video actually tomorrow, the non-negotiables in our season. Because Bradley, as good as he is, he's unnegotiable. Like, him or Frimpong could play there. Ekitike, as much as we signed him for and as good as he looks, he's probably still unnegotiable. He's not nailed on. Firstly, because we've not seen him play. Yeah, we've not seen Wirtz play, but we signed him for a record fee. He's one of the best young players in the world. Ekitike is one of the more promising young players in the world, but he's not necessarily as proven as Wirtz. So he's not non-negotiable. Also, we've got Diaz, we've also got Gakpo. We've also got Szoboszlai who could all play behind the striker there. So he's not a guarantee for me. But if he was going to play right now, he's playing there. And Isak's playing there. It's interesting. It looks a bit unbalanced to me. And if Gravenberch came out for Szoboszlai, who's defending, guys? Who's dropping back here? Yeah, Szoboszlai can play as an 8. I don't see him as a 6. I get the McAllister's a 6 thing, but I don't want him to play there. It's like we don't have to surely play McAllister there. We could definitely play him higher up the pitch because he's better there. You play to your strengths, right? Let's talk about strengths real quick, and then we'll leave it there for the live stream. The first ever stream. It's gone really well. We're 45 minutes in, guys, and I'm losing my voice a tad. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. There's 75 in here. Next time, we're going to have 100. I'm telling you, there'll be 100 people in here next time. So just you wait. We're going to really, really grow. Let's do... What's going to do then? Yeah, the best position for every player. I think Kerkez' best position, if we're playing to our strengths, is a marauding fullback. He won't play there, in my opinion. Van Dijk's best... centre-halves will skip past. Bradley's, I think, is actually inverting here, coming in there. Szoboszlai's is this right space. McAllister's this deeper left space. Wirtz, I'm seeing is like this left half space there, but he can kind of play across, but I think there. Ekitike, from what I'm seeing, is in this space, which is why... Also, I've seen bits from here as well, so it seems a bit weird putting them there, but Isak just up front, mate, going to score some goals. Salah, I think, his best position is inside here, but I like Salah in these positions where... That's what I mean, you could play something like that front 5, with Salah as the widest option. That would really work. However, it restricts the overlap from Frimpong, which we're going to see this year. Where am I? If you disagree with any of this, let me know, guys. How do you think Harvey fits? Yeah, I've done a bit on that before. It's just... He doesn't. I'm sorry, he doesn't. He has to be sold, in my opinion. Nothing really wrong, but... Yeah, there we go. I'm going to kind of leave it there for now. We're meant to be previewing the AC Milan game. We've done a lot of it. We've talked a lot about tactics as well and how fluid it looks into next season. If you've enjoyed the 73 people in here, this has been really, really enjoyable. I'm going to do a poll on my YouTube tomorrow regarding what time you'd ideally watch my live streams, because I'm doing this at 8 o'clock, but maybe if people would rather watch it at lunchtime, we'll do it then. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you hopefully in the next one. Nice one, guys. Have a good day. See you later.